Hey guys, welcome back to my Create CRM Ticket System from Scratch tutorial series. Today we are going to integrate our backend API with our frontend application using React Redux Toolkit. So today we are going to complete our project, especially this one stack for the client-side application. Let me quickly show you what are the things we are going to do today. So as soon as we go to dashboard page, we will get the total tickets and the pending tickets based on our database, and we will also get the tickets here in the dashboard. And if you want to create the new ticket, now we can create the new ticket and send to the form, and it will be created our new ticket and updated in our database. Now we can go to our tickets. Yeah, it will load all the ticket that we have in our database here. If you want to go specific ticket, now we can go specific ticket, and then let's go back. Let's say this one, and then if you want to update any message, now it will be updated in our database and you'll get the feedback. And if you want to close the ticket, you can close the ticket and it will be updated in database. Every time we're making some request, now we are talking to backend API, and then we are managing our state using Redux Toolkit here. That's what we are going to do today, and we are going to complete this front-end CRM system. Hey, if you are here for the first time, my name is Prem Acharya from Dented Code. I create tutorials related to full stack web development. If you are interested in full stack web development, please subscribe the channel, turn on all the notifications. With that saying, let's jump into the computer. Okay, I have opened both of the application, the backend API here and the frontend API here. So let's run them with npm start, and the backend seems already working. So okay, our application is loaded now. So I want to show you something. Last week we forgot to put something. Let's fix that before we go ahead. So if we go to our Redux dev tool, whenever we log in, we have login success once here. And let's say if you want to go to any other page, let's say ticket, and if you want to go back to home page, you'll have a double login success. Or let's say if you revisit to the site, you'll have like 4 times login success. That's very bad in terms of performance. So I realized that as soon as I stopped recording video last time. So let's fix that first. That's a simple fix. So what we gotta do is we need to go to the private router API here, private route component, and here where we are firing update access JSON web token, here we need to check few things. We only going to trigger the update access JSON web token action creator when there is no access JSON web token in the session storage. So let's do that first. Session storage.get item, we get the SSJWT. If we don't have that, right? If we don't have that, then trigger it. And before that, we need to also check one more thing. If we don't have access token in our session storage, or also we need to have the refresh token in our storage as well, so local storage. So let's do end part here, and here let's do local storage.get item. Okay, so just do that, and here session storage get item dispatch. So we only need to trigger this line of code if our isauth is false. So let's pass this isauth is false, and then since we're using isauth here, we need to pass as a dependency here, and then just save the file. So now let's try to see if it has fixed our issue. So now we have only 1 time success. If I try to just revisit the site, now we have 1 time login only. Now no matter where we go, it will only does 1 time whenever you come to the home page. Okay, that's done. I will quickly add in our commit this one so that you can also have the history. I'll just quickly do this and I'll come back. That's done. So let's start working on our dashboard. So in our dashboard, okay, before we start working on the dashboard for the fetching data, let's see what are the available APIs we have. If we don't have enough API, we may have to create one. So in the previous previous tutorials, I showed you how to use Postman to use as an API calling application. So here we have like a different endpoints for the tickets. So what I'm going to do, instead of switching over between the application, I'm going to quickly copy all of this URL and the whatever we needed and put in our front end the rest.http file, how we did for user here. Here bottom below here, I'll put all the API for ticket, and then we'll go from there. Okay, just give me a second and I'll get back to you right after done it. Okay, I have already transferred all of our API endpoint from the Postman to our VS Code inside the rest.http file. So what this extension does is that it will allow us to make a API call from within the VS Code. So it's a very handy tool. So what I have done here is putting all the API call from here, ticket API. So the first one is open new ticket. It will create the new ticket in our database, and this one will get all the tickets from database, and this one will get a specific ticket. We have to like here provide the ticket ID, and this is the authorization, the access JSON web token. And then similarly we have a put method to update the ticket, like a reply onto the ticket message. Similarly we have close ticket as a patch, and the delete method to delete the ticket. Okay, so I'm just gonna save this file so that we can come back and have a look at the endpoint. Let's minimize that. In our application here, I wanted to talk about the dashboard a little more later on. Maybe to just start simple thing first, let's go to the ticket and start working on the ticket. So here we will fetch all of our ticket and then we'll display here. Let's work on that. So it seems like already firing few action creator here. Let's see what's going on here. So to do that, let's go to the ticket first, ticket page. I want to close everything here. So the ticket page is ticket list here. Let's go to the ticket list, and here what we are doing is dispatching fetch all tickets from the use effect. So the fetch all ticket is in our ticket action. Let's maximize it. Okay, let me open the sidebar. Okay, the ticket action, let's go to the ticket action. So we have already created our Redux store for the ticket. So here we have the ticket action, and here we are importing the action creator from the ticket slice, which have fetch ticket loading, fetch ticket success, and fetch ticket fail, and also source ticket. So what we're gonna do, let's see why it's failing. Go to the ticket action, and it's calling the fetch ticket success. Before that we are calling the get all tickets, and here we are getting error. See the fetch ticket loading is going on, and then we have a fetch ticket fail saying the request failed with the status code 403. That's because of the invalid JSON web token. Let's go to the API and see. Let me close the sidebar. So go to the get all ticket API. Here we are actually calling the API. Oh, here we are providing static JSON web token, so which is not correct. So what we have to do, basically we have to get the fresh token from our session storage. So simply update that with say session storage.get item, and the item name is ssjwt. Tap the file, and let's go to the application, and let's go to tickets, and there you go, we have the ticket. Now you can see the ticket, fetch ticket loading and fetch ticket success. And if we go to our state, now we do have a list of the tickets here. As you can see, we have 3 tickets in our database, and which you can see in our application here. So now our basically the ticket, the listing ticket, all ticket listing page is integration is done. That's all you need to do. And I think every time we have one integration, I'll add the commit message so that you can see as well. So I just increase the font size, guys, so that you can see clearly. So commit part is done. Now go to our application. So the next is we're going to work on the ticket landing page. So this is the ticket table, right? So we should be able to click onto the ticket title subject, and it should take us to the ticket landing page where we have all the ticket information. So if I click here now, see, this is the ticket landing page where we should have our ticket subject, ticket open date, and status here. And then if there is any message should be populated here as well. And now we should be able to reply the message here. Let's work on those one first. So we have to fetch the single ticket information. So we could get the single ticket information from the state and populate here, or if you want to make sure the ticket is up to date, you always get the ticket ID from here and then fetch the single ticket from the server. So let's do fetching single ticket from server so that we have all up-to-date data in our application here, that including the reply from the operators. Go to our ticket. So as we did in our ticket listing page, we will go in our ticket page. This is the page which basically loading all of our ticket here, single ticket here. Here we have message and ticket use from state. Okay, so the first thing first, we need to grab this ticket ID from our router, from our URL, so which we have already done here in our one of the previous tutorial. So when we use params, that is the hook provided by React Router DOM, we can basically get the ticket ID, this one, like so here, because if we go to our app.js file, here we are passing ticket / TID. So this is the parameter coming from here. So whatever it comes after this /, this value will go into this ticket ID. So to grab that ticket ID, underneath that, we are writing this code here. So if I simply do console dot, you can see that. Just to make sure you are in the same page, let's quickly check this. And in the console message, we have the ticket ID. Here you go. Okay, now based on that ticket ID, let's go grab the ticket from our server. So let's see what we have done here. So in use effect, so basically in the previous tutorial, what we are doing here is that we're grabbing all the ticket from our dummy ticket. So we don't need to do any more of that because we are getting ticket from server now. Go to our ticket page here. So we don't need this one. Let's remove that. I want to go to ticket API first. So this is what we're going to do. First, we create the ticket API that will fetch the single ticket. And after that, we will create the action that will make the call to that fetch ticket API and updates the single ticket in our Redux store. And from Redux store, we will pull the data in our component here. Okay, so let's go to our API folder. We have a ticket API. Here we are already doing get all ticket. So let's just copy all this code and we write down get single ticket here. Single ticket, and we do need the ticket ID though here. And if you remember in our API, we do have a endpoint that pastes the single ticket. So the method is get method, and this is the URL endpoint, and we need to send the authorization header, the access.json web token. So you just want to copy this one here just to make sure. Okay, here again we're repeating. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna just do here const root URL. We should be putting this the root URL in our environment variable so that you can use it everywhere, so that we don't have to keep writing here. So this is our root URL, and I'm gonna need const get single ticket URL. I'm just gonna say like that. So the URL endpoint would be root URL plus the this one. We have to go ticket and / the ticket ID. So we only provide ticket here for now, and we provide the ticket ID from the function inside. So let's remove that. We don't need it. So all we need is the single ticket ID variable. Just here what we are doing is getting single ticket ID here, and here we are returning the promises, and we are using async because we are doing wait here to get the call here. And the method we need is get, and we need to pass the URL ID here. But instead of just sending that hard-coded URL ID, we already have the single URL ticket here. And plus, we need to also pass our ID, because as you remember, we need to pass the single ticket ID on our URL endpoint. And headers is just like that. We need the session storage and get SS token, and everything seems okay to me. I just want to do console log in case if we get any error here. Just save that. Okay, now we can call this get single ticket in our ticket. Let's combine the single ticket and the list of the ticket action, and then everything inside the ticket slicer. So let's go to the ticket action here. We have a fetch all ticket here. Let's copy that. So I'm gonna say only from here, so we know that. So instead of fetch all ticket, let's do again here fetch single ticket, and again we need ID here. We are going to call this action from the component later on, and we will receive the dispatch because it's going to be high order function. Okay, so now we need to, before we work on here, we need to create some actions. Let's go, this function must be on the top. That was from the previous tutorial. So let's leave this one. So what we're gonna do here, first we're going to import this get single ticket API function here in our ticket action. So we already have got this function here, so we can simply pass the another function because it's in the same file. Okay, I think that's all with the ticket API. We can close now, and we will going to call this function from here. I'll just put this one just like that first and save the file. So now we need to create the fetch single ticket, like these three stuff, like an action creator in our ticket slice. So let's go to the ticket slice, and here we already have fetch all fetch ticket loading, fetch ticket success, fetch ticket fail. So let's add more reducer here. Even though this is the reducer for all the tickets, let's do for the single ticket as well. In order to do that, what we have to do first is in initial ticket, let's provide one more property called selected ticket, and which is the again the object. And here what we're going to write in the source ticket, let's leave the source ticket there. So we're going to do three stuff again: fetch single ticket pending, fetch single ticket success, and fetch single ticket fail. So I'm going to just copy three of this reducer here. So I'm gonna say, instead of ticket here, I'm gonna say single. So I'll just copy this one and put on all of the reducer first, and we need to update here something. Okay, we can utilize this one is loading, and we can also utilize the error. That's fine. And now we have to take only this one. So here we only need to update the selected ticket in our success fetch single ticket success. So instead of state.tickets, now state.selected ticket equals to the action payload, where we will be sending our actual ticket. So again, we can simply destructure the payload here, which I have already talked about it, how it works in one of the previous two tutorials. Okay, so source ticket, we don't need that actually. We only need selected ticket and is ticket loading false, and make sure to pass the error is empty as well, in case if there was an error in the previous attempt or so. So if we save that, I think that should be fine. Now we need to just export these reducer as an action creator here. So again, let's copy these three down, and we have to pass this single to match these three reducers. So from here, I guess, yeah, I'm gonna say like that. So now we have these three action creator are exported from this file, which now we can again import in our ticket action, like so how we did for the fetch all tickets. Let's just pass here, and now when you go down here, we are dispatching fetch ticket loading. So now we can say fetch single ticket loading. Just comment it out, fetch single ticket loading, and then we will going to run try catch in case if there is an error. Okay, and now we will going to pass the ticket ID to the get single ticket API call. So we will receive the result or the error. So if we get the result, if we have the ticket ID, then that means we can dispatch fetch ticket, not fetch ticket, now fetch single ticket success to here, and we pass this ticket result. And then if we fail to get the ticket, we have to say fetch single ticket fail, and we simply pass the error message. Now if we save that, okay, it's saying already defined. Let's see, where is it? Okay, I think I might have incidentally copied this portion as well. Just save that, and then let's go to our app. Okay, here now we have to call this fetch single ticket action in our ticket page, where we are basically going to fire up this action. So let me copy this, save that, and go to our ticket page here somewhere on the top before all the component stuff, or at the bottom of that, doesn't matter. Import the ticket action from ticket list. Go to the ticket list / ticket slice, and that's where we have our ticket action. Just make sure the path is correct. Okay, now we're going to dispatch this ticket in our use effect. So we don't need to do all this selecting stuff, which we did in our previous tutorial to get the dummy ticket from dummy ticket file. So simply we need to dispatch the ticket, the action here. Dispatch the action, not dispatch event, and we need to make sure we pass the ticket ID here, which we have got from the params. And since it seems like the dispatch is not imported, the dispatch is the part of the React Redux, so let's import that. Here we need to import use dispatch hook, and we need to define here the dispatch equals to use dispatch hook. And now we are going to use this dispatch down here to dispatch our actual action, and we pass our ticket ID. And since we are using dispatch here, we need to pass as a dependency and save the file. And now when we load this component, we should see some action triggering. Okay, there is an error saying ticket list ticket.slice is not exported in ticket.page. Let's go fix this issue first. Go to the ticket page, which we are already there. We're trying to do fetch ticket single ticket, which this one, it's saying it's not exported from our ticket list.ticket slice. Let's go to the page and see, yes, we are not supposed to import from the ticket slice, but from the ticket action. That's supposed to be the ticket action. There you go. That was the wrong path, that's why. Okay, now our application is fixed. The issue is fixed. So when we go to the ticket, let's see our action triggering. Go to the first tickets. We got all the tickets here. Let's go to the single ticket, and now you can see that single ticket loading is true and single ticket fetch is success here. And if we go to the ticket, and in our single ticket, actually in the state, go to the tickets, and in our state we have a ticket inside the single ticket. It's selected ticket, so this is inside the array, so we actually not passing array. So what we can do to fix that, because this is passing as an array, so it should be just object. So to fix that, go to our action. Here we just pass first ticket, because it sends as a array if there is a ticket. So we can just select the first ticket, which is only one ticket in that array, so it should fix that issue. So again, go to our tickets, go to single ticket, and when you go to the first ticket, now you can see the ticket is successful and we have the ticket information. Let's populate this ticket here, including the is pending and the error message. Okay, let's go to the component here, the ticket again. So we don't need the ticket action at the moment. We can close that. We can close the ticket slice. We can close the app as well, and the ticket listing page also not needed unless we can. Okay, never mind. And now let's go. So in our ticket page, so we don't need our dummy ticket here. We can remove that and go down here. And first thing we need to do is use selector from our Redux, React Redux, to get that value from the state. So let's use selector to get the value first. Just above the use effect, I'm going to write, okay, above the state here, I'm going to say const, I'll get back here again, equals to use selector. It will provide the whole state of our application from the Redux store. And here we're going to only return the tickets. And what we are interested in is actually inside the ticket is loading error and selected ticket. So we can destructure that here. Let's type that out here. So I'm going to say is loading first, error if there is any, and the selected ticket. Okay, so when we have a is loading, we can always run the spinner somewhere here. Maybe I just create one new row just at the top of the file. Actually not here. So just I'm gonna copy this breadcrumb here and instead of breadcrumb, I'm going to run the spinner here. So let's run if is loading, then we can run the spinner. We need to import the spinner from the React Bootstrap. So let's do spinner and use that spinner here. Spinner takes two parameters. One is variant. That's just the color, which color you want. I'm gonna say primary for now. And the another one is the animation. So I'm going to use the border. Okay, and just make sure to close the component. And if we have an error, we can simply do same thing in the same column, row and column. So if we have an error, which we are getting in our fetch state, ticket state, this one will give us error if there is any error while fetching the single ticket. We can do alert. Let's import the alert as well from React Bootstrap. So say alert variant. I'm gonna say danger. Danger gives that red background thing, and just pass the error message inside the component. It's a child component. So just pass error here and save that file. So it should work now. Let's try to see if we can see any of that effect. It's gonna be pretty fast when it's loading, but try to see if you can see the spinning logo here. Did you see that quick flash? Okay. All right, that's done. Let's work on our actual populating the ticket value here. So just going to expand here so that I want to see what we needed. Okay. Let's make it a little smaller so that we can see side by side. Okay, in our subject here, so what we have is the selected ticket in our component in our variable, in our state, which holds all the ticket information. So here instead of ticket, we are passing selected ticket to all of this variable and save that. So now we have the ticket is basically updated. So subject is form issue, ticket open is not updated yet because the property should be open at, not edit at, and the ticket status is updated as well. And at the bottom, close ticket is for this button, and if there is any message, we can populate the message. So go to the conversation here above this reply, and we populate all the conversation message. So let's go down here. So what we can do, instead of ticket here, let's pass that ticket list as well. Sorry, selected ticket as well. Here and here, instead of history, we do have a conversation. So we made a little bit change on our server side, so we need to just follow so that we get the right property. If we save it, now we should see some difference here. Okay, now I can see the ticket is populated here. That's the first message, which you can see in our conversation. Okay, we only have one message in the conversation, so we can only get one message. So we need to here, let's see, there should be something showing up here. Let's go and see what is supposed to be there. Go to the message history component, which takes the actual message history, this whole array, not this one, the conversation array. And we are just console logging. We don't need that. We already know what's coming from our state. So just remove that. And here's row. Okay, we are just basically mapping through this array. And if there is any message, we are just putting message in this div, and also putting the date. So in our case, seems like we are not getting a date. So let's see how the date is coming. So just click on this and see the raw. And here you can see, let me make it bigger. I don't need this. So in here you can see the date is coming as a message 8. So we can simply pass message 8 here and save that. And also we need to send one more property here. Who send that message? So if you go to select the ticket again. So we have the message and the sender name. So we need to pass sender name, not message by sender. When we save that, now we have all the value we needed for our ticket. So by and the date and the message, this is not definitely looking good, so this has to be work on that. So I think in today's tutorial we probably just do the integration part, and we'll try to do refactor and then make it a little nice later. I don't want to spend time on this one at the moment, but hey, you can do this one too, right? Now let's just the simple design, I mean simple CSS, just put on here, it should work. Now the next thing, okay, this thing is done, the fetching single ticket is done. I'm gonna commit that change as well. So the next thing we need to do is we need to be able to type the message, hit the reply button to update the message history here. So what normally happens in this page is that we haven't worked on the admin side yet. So whenever we finish with our admin section, as long as the client opens the ticket like this, admin will see this message, and admin will reply, or operator will reply onto this message, and that message will appear down below here. And after that, again, if you have any more query or message to send, you can send here, or you can update your message on the top of this one from here. So all we need to make it happen now is type the message. Don't worry about the crazy triggering at the moment here, the action triggering thingy. So all we need to make it happen is that type this message, send the reply button when the form is submitted, and update that ticket back here and update that ticket in database. And when we go to the individual ticket, we should be able to see those update messages here. To make that happen, let's go to check out API and see what are the information we need to send. So this is the reply message. So we need to send the put method to this URL endpoint with the ticket ID. And of course we need authorization header, that XSJSON web token. And we need to send the message and sender. So that means the sender name should be coming from our user profile, from our user state. Let's check what do we have first in our state. So we need to make sure, we haven't looked into that, but we need to make sure we have user in our state. Okay, user seems empty, even the user is authorized here. So it seems like whenever we reloading the page, it's overriding the user information to the initial state. So what we're gonna do here is, every time we check the is state here in our private component, we can check the is user available or not. So let's go to the private route here. If you remember, just in the beginning of the tutorial, we had to update these two things. Here we can also do one thing. So let's get the user from state. So to get the user from state, we need to go to user and user. So grab that user. Okay, so we are already grabbing the login. Let's copy that line and then say user, and I'm gonna get user. So we have a double user here, user and another user. So another user, the inner property of the user, will have actual information about the user. So in the case of, let's say, user should have ID as well. So what we can check here some way, if not user.id underscore ID, actually, if not there, we can dispatch the get user profile, which we have not brought that in here, but I know we have in our user action. Let's do search. I just do Control P to search the file, so you can search any file you like from here. So user action there has that, see this one, the get user profile. We just need to call this function and it will do whatever it has to do to get the user. So if it is not user and the fetch user. Okay, let's save this file and let's go to our private component and import this get user profile from this page and dashboard and user action. And let's import that here. So we need to go to the pages dashboard / user action as that action called get user profile that we need to dispatch in our, actually should be, yeah, here. We don't need to pass anything or like that, so just like that. Save that file and let's see if the user gets updated. Now we can see get user pending, get user success in our user state. We should have now user. Let's go to the ticket page. When we went to the ticket page before, we missed that user, so we should have user now right there, right? Name, great. So now we can grab that name and the message as well in our reply box here to send to the API. So it's complaining we need to provide the dispatch is there. It's saying missing user underscore ID. Okay, just pass that then. And yeah, now I can close this for now. User action is no needed now. So let's go back in our ticket again, ticket component. Here we ticket update component. So let's grab this message. So basically what happening, we are sending handling all the action of this box and reply through the parent component of this whole ticket page. So we don't need to do that. We can simply pass do all the action within the local state of this component, because we are using the Redux. That's the beauty of the Redux, right? So ticket page is calling the, not ticket page, actually I need to go to the ticket.page, and here message history and the update ticket. See, we are passing these three stuff here, props, so we don't need to pass that. So let's remove that first. And since we remove here, we need to remove from the top as well here. So handle on change and handle on submit, we take it out from here and we put back inside our update ticket component, just inside before the return under the function declaration, component declaration. And we don't need to use as a props here, just remove that. And I think we were using props type to check the props, so we don't need that. Comment it out for now, and just to comment this out too. Okay, so now since we are setting the message, the one whichever we type here, we need to update in our state. So let's call use state first and define here, let's do const use state to provide to hold the message that we are typing. So initial message is nothing there, just the empty string. And let's pass the variable of that message we can access as a message. And what happens, we don't need double const here. Okay, so every time on handle change, so whenever we input anything here, every time we type, it will trigger the onHandle change, sorry, onChange method that will trigger the function called onHandle change, and it will receive all the event, and from the event we can get the target and value. Value is the actual value that when client types the message, and we are setting that message in our message variable, and we can use that message variable here to see display back in the box, in this box here. So that thing is done. So now when we click, we will trigger the onHandle submit event of the form, which will call the onHandle on submit function. Yeah, we simply just alerting the form submitted, but we can also just alert the message here just to see everything works fine. Make sure there is no any error or something like that. So if I type this one, now nothing crazy happen here, and if I submit the message, now we can get this alert. That means we receive the message. So we need to grab our user profile. So if we go to our state, we have a user. Let's get that username here. So to do that, you need to use selector that need to be imported from the React Redux library, and that's use selector. Let's go down just before the okay, just under the use state, or above the use state rather. I'm going to say const, we'll get back that in a second. So as you already know, use selector will give us all state, and we are going to only return the user object from there. State.user will return the user object, and inside the user object we have another object called user. So let's destructure that. So when we destructure that, instead of getting user is loading and error everything, we will get user only. So from is user, we can even do further destructure like so, just to get the username, for example, name like so. That way we can only get the name out of everything here. So now we can use that name in our handle on submit. Let's make an object, like if you remember in our application here, we need to send message and sender. So let's do the same way. Let me copy this one. Yeah, we need to, okay, so that's MSC OBJ, let's call it. and we have to send like this way, message and sender. So we don't need the inverted comma here. So what we're gonna do, the message is a message coming from our state here, so we don't need anything else. We can simply remove this part. And the sender is the name. Now we have this one here coming from our state. So that means our we need to make sure we provide the const here. So our object message is ready to be sent as well. So let's remove this one. Okay, now our object is ready. So where to send? So let's go to the action, and we create the action where that action can handles the submitting this message to our API. So we have to basically create the action, create the reducer, and then create the API to make this functionality complete. So the next thing we are going to do is create the reducer. Okay, so if you are working on the large project, and if this function is a separate feature of the application, you should be creating the separate separate slicer, reducer, and the action. But in our case, we are only replying one message from the form of that page, so we can combine this one with the ticket slicer and ticket action. So let's go to the ticket slice here, and here before, as you can see, fetch single ticket loading, fetch single ticket success, and then fail. Now we can use that same function, reducers. Let's make a copy of these three, and we're gonna call them, instead of now fetch single ticket loading, I'm gonna do Control-D to select multiple similar text, and simply say the reply ticket. So when we have a reply ticket loading, reply ticket success, reply ticket fail, that are the reducer for our ticket replying message. So in our loading state, we can say is loading true, and in our fail state, we can say is loading false, and we can pass the error message. And when the ticket reply is success, all we have to do is reset the error message to empty in case if there wasn't any error, and loading is definitely false. And we don't have to pass any payload at the moment here, because we can check if there is error or not, and based on that we can provide the feedback to the client in our component. Just save that, and we need to export this action, this reducer that will become action creator here, that we have talked about it already. So let's rename them as same as the one we have created, reducer here. So again, I'm going to select the first part of this name, to Control-D to multi-select and Control-V to paste, and I'm gonna copy three of them actions. Save this file, and copy this action creator, and go to the ticket action again. First thing first, import them here on the top. Since they are in the same file, we can simply pass here like so, and go down to one of the function. Okay, let's copy this one, and we just reuse that and then rename the things we need to. So here I'm just gonna say action for replying on single ticket. I don't need that only thingy. So here, instead of single ticket fetch, we said reply on ticket. Yeah, that's it, reply on ticket, that should do. So here we need to receive the few things. So let's see, again, go back to our app, the API. Here we need the ticket ID and the message, the actual message that to be sent to the server. So we need to receive these two things in our action so that we can forward to our API call. So let's do underscore ID for the ID and the MSC object. That's all we're gonna need. So, and in the initial state, we're going to dispatch the is replying ticket loading state that will create the is loading true. And then when we have an error, first thing, let's do console.log to see the error if we got any. And we dispatch the reply ticket fail action creator here with the message here that will come from the error here. And in the success case, now we have to create the API call here. So in let's say if we are success on doing that, let me get back to that in a second. If we are success updating ticket, we can dispatch the reply ticket success action creator. We don't need this one. And now save the file. So let's work on that API that updates the reply. So we haven't created this API calling function yet, but let's write here anyway. So let's say update reply ticket, and here we need to pass both the ID and the message object here. And we have not created this one yet, but I will get back to this later, but we're going to create soon. So in our API, ticket API, let's import it first, and then let's go back to the ticket page, ticket.api file, and we call the API here. Let me make a copy of that and rename first, so that we are exporting the function that we needed. And here we are receiving ID and the message as a message object, and here we are again returning the promises. So we need async and wait to wait the API call from the server. I think we are using the put method, so we need to change that get to put, and our API is v1/ticket/ticket ID. So I think that is already in use. If we check this URL, get single ticket URL, that is basically v1/ticket only, and add on the behind that we can just add the ticket ID. So that will make our API correct. So, and as a header, of course, we need to send our access JWT from our session storage for the authorization purpose, and we need to send this object message as well. When we send that, it should do the work in the server and it should be fine. So let's save this file and go back to our action, which we have already worked on. Everything is fine. Just wanna console log the result and see what comes in the result. I think it just comes the message saying the success or fail. That's all. I just want to see anyway. And now let's call this action in our component if we haven't already. So let's go back to our ticket component here on handle submit. We need to call that action. Before calling that, we need to import it. So let's do import, and it's in the ticket action, which is inside the ticket list inside the pages. Make sure we get the path right. So let's go to the pages first, slice the ticket list and slice the ticket action actually, and this action has this reply on ticket action, which we can now dispatch here. So have we imported the dispatch yet? Use selector, no, we need to import use dispatch hook from React Redux, and we need to define that use dispatch is a dispatch variable, so that is easy for us to use, like so. And now go down on handle change, and here simply say dispatch the function, actually the action, and pass the ID. We don't have ID yet, and the message object. So the ID of the ticket, where are we gonna get that from? I think that ID of the ticket we can do two ways. Either we can pass as a props from the parent component, because our parent component has ID, right? Let's quickly check that ticket page, ticket list page. We have the ID. We can pass this one as a props from the ticket, the parent component. Or I think we can get it from, okay, we'll get back that one. That's the one I said we didn't have yet. Or we can grab it from the our state, which is inside the selected ticket. It should be inside the selected ticket. Maybe let's do passing, see, so that you can choose whichever option you want. So I'm just showing you all the possible options that you can use. So let's do ID equals to, I think the variable name is TID, and let's use this one, props, in our update ticket here. We can destructure and just use that straight away. And now this ID we have here, and you can use that props type just to check if we are receiving that or not, like so. We don't need this too, and this is not function, this is an string is required, and since we are using props type here, you're gonna need that. Just say that this will give us the error message in case the component is not receiving the proper types of the ID. So now we do have ID as well, so we should be good to go and see what happens. Let's try first. We've been coding a while without testing. Let's do some test, and probably I want to go to the ticket page. Now when we type and submit the ticket, few things should happen. First, let's say second time reply on this message and hit reply. Okay, few things happened, but it just went off, couldn't see much. Let's go to the ticket and see what happened. This was the ticket. I want to see in the console. Let's open big one and then we try and then we check in the console. So the our state is our component is updated, re-render again, so that shouldn't be happening. Let's see why it's re-render. So if we go to our submit on handle, let's prevent the default. So receive the event and we do event.prevent default, so that it doesn't have that loading effect. Okay, now that solved that one issue. So whenever we send the message, we are getting reply from the server saying error, the sender is required. Okay, we have some error sending our data properly in the format that we send, so that's fine, we can work on that. So that means we should be able to display this error message here some way, just on the top. So let's grab that message. Let me check in our state what we have first. It's loading there. Ticket, replying ticket success. That's not right. Need to check. Let's go back in the console again. So if we see in our status error, we need to check this one. So let's do, I'm gonna copy that. In our data, go to the API call, where we have called our API to update the ticket. Here on the result, we are just resolving. So what we're gonna resolve here is, okay, that's fine. We can only resolve the data, so we only get that data from here. And in our action, so we can check here if we have in result dot status equals to, if we have that error, that means we need to dispatch the error message here saying error result.message, I guess, result.message. Other than that, then we return from here so that we don't execute another line. So if we have an error, then we do that. Other than we just reply the success, save that and see, it should at least show that error message. There you go, sender is required. That's okay. Now let's check. Oh, okay, I think the object message, it's try to send this first, maybe the order, because of the orders. So, and that's supposed to be outside this bracket for the headers, that's bracket for the option, so that has to be outside. So like that, and save it and try to send one more time and see if it works. So let's go to the application again, try to reply the message and see. There you go. Now we have the update message successful and your message has been updated, status success. So now we can display that message here. Let's get the message here saying the message is updated. So to do that, we need to get the, okay, go to the slicer, ticket slicer here. Actually, let's receive the message saying that reply message. Okay, let's create this reply message new property in our initial state, and I'm just gonna use that for reply ticket success case here. What we're going to do though is pass the payload that we are going to receive in our function. So we can just, we're gonna receive the action, but we can destructure the payload here. But now we need to pass this message in our ticket success in our action. Ticket success. Okay, if fail, yeah, we're sending message. If not fail, then we should have a success, and that success comes in the result.message as well. And now we can say expected assignment or function call instead of so an expression in our ticket slice on line 53. What happened is, sorry, that's supposed to be the assignment is a regular variable that for the state. I'll just save that. And now we need to get that property from our state using use selector. Let me show you quickly first. That's in our tickets. Reply message is empty. Let's grab that in our reply component. Where is our reply ticket page? Not in the ticket page. We need to go to, I'm just gonna close that for now. Message history component actually, yeah. So we need to import use selector from the React Redux. And now go just below these the message null thingy. We just grab that reply message. So we're gonna say const. We're going to come back that in a second. Now just use selector to get all the state and just return the state dot tickets. So this one will return this object, this object only, and from there we're just going to grab the reply message only. So if we have that reply message, let's create a new div here. So inside this div, let's say if we have a reply message, then we're going to show the again alert. And okay, we need to import that alert from our React Bootstrap. I'm gonna say success. I think it has success as well, and just pass the message here. And we need to wrap whole element inside one div. We cannot return multiple div from one component. So this div wraps this div, and then that's all works. Okay, let's put this one all the way up here and then save it. Now let's try to send the message and see. Okay, now we have the message. Oh, okay, that means we are doing in the wrong place. This is not what we want. We only want one time. I think let's display on the top of this form here rather than there. So go to our update ticket component, and here let's grab this component with div again, like how we did before. I'm just gonna copy paste here the code. So from the, let me delete all this slice and action at the moment, making confusing here. So let's take this one out and put it on the just below this function declaration, and we need to again import the use selector from React Redux, and we need this message. Take that out. Now we don't need this div here, and remove this div as well. I think just save that. Yeah, it's back to normal, this component, and also copy paste here, and make sure we close this whole form inside the div. What's wrong inside the div? And we need to do one more thing, that is make sure we import alert from the React Bootstrap here. Save this file, make sure there is no error. Let's check that everything works. If it does, then let me send one more message. There you go, your message has been updated here. Great, that's what we wanted to see. And now we are not receiving all the message yet. So what happens is that as long as we get this success message, we will invoke the fetch single ticket action again from the action. So let's do that so that we can receive this message. Just to show you that, see, if I just put, let's say, just to see that, yeah, this message, send it, I'll get this message, but I cannot see this message on the list. So we should get that result instantly. To do that, go to the message, update message component here, where we have called the send message. Go is the use dispatch on handle submit. We cut doing the reply on ticket. Let's go there in this action. So this is the error part. So when you have error, we just return it. That's it, nothing to do more. So if there is no error, that means there is success on the replying ticket. That means here we can call that action to fetch the single ticket, fetch single ticket. So let's dispatch that, call that function. We need to dispatch this because we need to use the thunk middleware to work, otherwise the asynchronous call will not happen. So let's do that, save it, and do one more try again. So now let's say last message here. So when I reply that, reply ticket success and fetch single ticket fail. Property 0 of undefined, because I know what happened. Okay, first thing, go to our ticket action where we are fetching single ticket. Here we are passing the first item of the array. That before we doing that, make sure we have the result first. Let's check that if we do have result.length. If we have this one, then only get that person, otherwise don't send anything. So okay, that's done. Now let's make sure we pass the ID to our function where we're calling fetch single ticket here. So we are getting this ID here. Let's copy this ID and pass that ID and just save that file, and let's see if there's an error or something. Okay, last two, there you go, last two is updated now. And if you see now state the action, now fetch single ticket success has been triggered to get that last two message here. And every time we submit, I think we need to reset this value as well here so that there's nothing in the form. Let's go to the form again. Where is that form? On submit. So we need to go to update ticket component. Here we can reset this message. Once the dispatch is done, we can reset this to empty message. Let's set that. And so now let's do last three. There you go, our last three is updated here. Now the message box is empty. We have the feedback as well. So there are a few things definitely need to change the date. I think just change the date, at least looks nice. Let's simply put the date in the ISO string so that it looks much better. Where is our date? Date is in the message history component. Let's get to the message history component, and on the date, if we have this true, then we can say new date, pass that row dot message add to local string, save that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna copy this one, save that, and then go to our ticket listing form, so which is in ticket page. Where is the ticket list? If anywhere, okay, if open at is there is a date on the ticket here as well, you can change that. Just simply say, and I'm just gonna copy paste and then get this variable down here. That should update our ticket here, date here as well. And if you want to update in this list as well, you need to update in this ticket table. Let's go to ticket table. I think ticket table component is here. Where is the open at? Yeah, here. Just to and oops, just do new date row dot open at dot to local string and save that. You should have that date here now. There you go. Okay, now and make this close button work. Look into our API, see what we have to call or send to. Close ticket is here. We need to send this patch request to this URL endpoint with this access just no token. Now again, let's go to our ticket API and let's open one of them. Okay, get all tickets, single ticket, update reply ticket. Let's copy that and let's go up here and create the URL endpoint. So we need b1/ticket/close ticket and the ticket ID. So let's create a new variable called close URL equals to root URL plus we need to give the root URL plus ticket/close ticket goes here, and then we'll pass the ticket ID from the function itself. So just remove that. I'm gonna copy this, go down here, and in the recently copied function, just update the URL first, and then let's do close ticket. Just say close ticket. Okay, actually say update ticket status closed. Yeah, we only need ID, we don't need any message. And if you remember, we need patch method, so we need to do patch here, and we only need the ID, we don't need the message as a body, and we do need the access JSON web token from session storage, and yeah, resolve the result or reject the error. So save this file and just copy the function name, and now we go to ticket action. Here let's create a new action to close the ticket. Okay, action for closing ticket, and let's import that function from ticket API. Update ticket status closed, and go down here again. Here let's say let's call this action name, okay, close ticket only. So close ticket, and we need to receive the ID as a parameter and the dispatch, because this one going to be the higher order function again. So yeah, we need to create this all of this stuff again in our reducer. So let's go to our ticket slicer. Yeah, let's again copy these three stuff down here, and now instead of replying ticket loading, say close ticket. Okay, so again we need to, these are the reducer, and we need to export them as a action creator. So I'm gonna just copy one of these here, and just Ctrl-D to select three of them and save the file, copy all of this and go back to our ticket action, and then import them again here. And now again we need to dispatch them one by one. So okay, let's uncomment this all. So the first thing, we will dispatch the close ticket pending, and then let's go down here, and then if it is, we need to now actually call that function, this one was the API function, this one we just created in our ticket API in here, and we just have to pass the ID, the ticket. If error, then we'll dispatch with the error message. Okay, so let's get the close fail action creator for when we have an error here, and success and error in here as well. When we have an error message, we need to dispatch the error as well. And when we are success, we need to get this part done, dispatch as a success. Yeah, and we can again dispatch the first single ticket, same ticket, to get that updated ticket display in our front-end application. So let's say that we need to call this action in our component again. Go to in our ticket page, let's see where is the close ticket. Okay, so this button has the close ticket, this is the button. So we need to trigger a function here. So basically we can call on click event, we can basically dispatch our function here only. So simply say dispatch that the function, the action we need to import first. Let me type here anyway, and we pass the ID as well for the ticket. So that function is not imported here, so we need to import from the, okay, we haven't imported anything. Okay, yeah, ticket action, we need to import that new close ticket action, and it's saying it's not defined. That is basically not in ID. We have like a TID actually, not underscore ID. Let's pass TID and save that. Actually we need to call as an anonymous function and then run that dispatch. So let's try, let's do close. Okay, fail with status code 403. Let's go to our API call quickly. Ticket API, are we sending the correct header? Yes. Okay, patch is the method that we needed. So with the patch method, the XO expect to have body with the data. Even if you don't have a data, you need to provide the empty body. If you do that, it will now send the header as a header. Otherwise it will mess up with the header, with header information with the body information, because the sequence of the parameter matters here. Okay, if we save this one and now go to our application, let's say our ticket status is now pending operator response. Let's do close. Now status is closed. You would have seen the spinning as well. And I realized that the message is at the bottom here. So I think we should put this message on the top somewhere here. Yeah. To do that, let's go to the ticket landing page. Update ticket page. In our ticket page here, we can pull that information, reply message. Let's copy this, go to ticket page. Let's go under the form declaration. It has to be, when you use selector, make sure you use before you are returning any function anyway. And also let's use that alert message. We already have message shown here. Let's do that there. Yeah, that's probably all we need. Just save that and let's remove few things here. We don't need this one in our update ticket component, and also we don't need alert. Save that file, go to ticket page. I saw this message. I don't think we need this one. Let me remove that and see if it is used anywhere else. Save that one and let's see if there is an error. And if I try to close the ticket, there you go, ticket successfully closed and status is closed. So it's a bit funny now. Even the ticket is closed already, it's saying closed ticket. We should be able to disable this button when the ticket closes, ticket status is closed. Okay, yeah, we can update that too quickly. Where is the button? The button is here, disabled equals to. So here, do if selected ticket dot status is equals to if the selected ticket dot status is closed, then make this button disable. See, now you cannot do anything with that. If we go to another ticket, now you can close this ticket and status updated successfully, ticket is closed. There you go guys, the close ticket functionality is done as well. I'll commit this code as well in our stage, and I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, the git commit is done. I think I just thought there is some issue with the way that we have used our ticket slice, where we have used this message, slicer, where we have using same error message for all the event. So I think so. Let's quickly have a look at that. So for example, this ticket. Okay, let's go to the ticket and let's generate some error. So if we just try to send the message, we will get an error saying the message empty is not allowed to be emptied, right? So this is the error generated by this component. But if we try to go to now ticket, now that message is carried over because we are using same message property in both the case. Maybe it's a good idea to just at least separate them so that we don't have this issue. Now we cannot see any ticket even though we do have a ticket. So just to fix that one is a simple fix. So instead of error only, we do like that. This is the reason you should separate your reducer as per the functionality. Once we define this, let's go to the reply ticket option where we have a error case. Reply ticket fail here. Instead of error, let's pass this option, and now we pull this reply ticket in the ticket page. And here we need to pull that information from the ticket. So actually we are using two state here, which we don't need it. Let's combine that. Okay, let's pass this variable and we can use this one into the same. We don't need two different places calling use selector. And yeah, just like that. Now instead of, okay, let's check this message only in one place. Let's copy danger part. And now if we have this reply message, then we display this message. Save that and it should avoid that error now. Yeah, we do have that error, but if we go to ticket, now we have the ticket. So that is fixed. Okay, now the next one we need to work is get new ticket. Now we need to be able to fill up this form. Oops. And send this form to the ticket page. Okay, I think let's create the separate reducer and action for this ticket. So let's quickly see what's happening in ticket first. We have a state with the subject issue details, error, and an initial message subject issue details. Okay, send form on handle submit. We have set from data to error, set from console.form submitted received. Okay, sort text issue add ticket form. This is the actual form that is called into the page. Okay, that's fine. We could strip all this onHandle submit and onHandle change into the add ticket form by itself here, so this component itself, or you can do on the add page. The best practice is just to, since we are using the Redux, we don't have to use parent component to pass anything down to the children component, so better just strip everything into the add ticket component. Okay, let's take everything from this file, because so I think we need to like take out this utility function, initial state, and this state, and the onHandle submit, onHandle change, all this stuff should go into the add ticket form. Let's take them out. I'm going to close the sidebar. Okay, start with the short text, goes into the add ticket form. Hopefully the path is still the valid. Yes, it is valid. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to need this initial state. Take both of them, put just above the form declaration, and we also need these two states. Use state just under the form declaration here. We don't need this console now before the return, and we need to take this onHandle change and onHandle submit all the way till here. Take everything out and put in just under the use state variables, and here we don't need use effect as well. Just take this one out. We put use effect just under the use state. Put the use effect, and we need this use effect and use state. We don't need here. Take that out and put on the top here. Save the file and remove this comma, save the file, and before that we need to remove all of this. We're just calling the form here. Save that and go to our ticket component here. We need to first remove all this thing we don't need probably. I'm going to comment it out, and also the props type comment out. And let's see. Okay, form data initial. Okay, we don't need this props to be destructured here. Save that. So what we are doing is basically we are now defining initial form data state for subject, issue date, and detail. That's that sort of things coming from. Okay, well, let's fix the error first. And a ticket form component requires the error. Let me show you the error first. It's saying form data is not defined, because before, remember, we had the form coming here, form data as a props. So now we have this form data we can use straight away. So instead of frmdt, I think we have in 3 places, just replace with form data from this 3 input field. One to this 3 input field. It should be good to go. Okay, the error is fixed. Everything is working as it was working before, so it doesn't do anything. So everything is good. Set form error. Yeah, so that means we do have the form data. The form data has everything here. This is the message printed here. So this form data need to be submitted to our API. So let's go back to our API and check what data, how we need to send that to. Go to our rest.http and see create new ticket. Okay, open new ticket. Okay, we need to post URL to this first thing, and we need authorization, and then we need just the, okay, simply we need the subject sender and the message and the date. Not sending, we need to send the date as well, the issue detected date. Okay, we can look into that. And we need post to the ticket with the SS JSON web token. So right, let's minimize that. So okay, so what we're gonna do first, we create the reducer slicer, we'll create the action, and we'll create the API endpoint, and we will connect them all. Let's do that. Okay, I want to open this file. So in the add ticket form, this is where everything happening. I'm gonna create a file called add ticket slicer, and here we need to import few things. First, we need to import create slicer from Redux Toolkit, and then we need to use that. Let's define const new ticket slice equals to create slice It's a function that takes object with few properties. The first one is the name. I'm gonna call it to new ticket, and the other one is initial state. We haven't created that. And the third one is the reducers. So that's an object. So let's create the initial state. So in initial state, we need to think what we're gonna need. First, we need the is loading equals to false, and if there's an error, of course we need error. Let's put empty for now. And success message, maybe the success message as well. Okay, that's gonna be the error message, and this is going to be the success message. I think that's all we need for now. I don't think anything else. We'll go ahead and code and see if we need anything else, so we can add that. Okay, now reducer. Inside the reducer, again, we're gonna need three reducers. One is open. I'm gonna say open new ticket pending. That takes state, doesn't need anything else. Yeah, I'm gonna say state dot is loading equals to, sorry, need to do equals to here, true. And okay, yeah, that's it for this one. Let me make a copy of this one, 3 of them. So the last one is if fail. So fail means we have an error coming. So let's destructure our action with the payload, and inside here we have an error. Now let's pass that payload. That should be again the assignment and has to access with the state. Okay, and oops, now the next one is this. So what we're gonna do here is loading now false, and success message is payload again, which we need in here. Just destructure that, and don't forget to the state here dot success message, because this is how we're going to access this initially defined property. Save that and make sure we change this one to success. Okay, now we got our reducer created. Now we need to export a few things here. So let's do let's do export default reducer first. So, and we also export action creators. So now this all the reducer will turn into an action creator. Okay, save that. Okay, our our new ticket slicer is ready. Now let's import this one in our Redux store. So we need to import that here. Import that's in the page in ticket page. Was it in ticket page? Where is it? Okay, it's inside the component and add ticket form and add ticket slicer. Actually, it's not page, it's component. Let's call it to new ticket reducer. Make sure the path is correct. Yep, it's open, that means it's correct. Yeah, now call this one a new ticket, add open ticket, and they pass this reducer. And if we save this file, everything should work unless grid size is not exported. Okay, I think this is just a typo here. Just fix that typo and save that. The error should be gone and application will still be working. Okay, nothing gonna happen yet. Now let's import this action creator and create an action in our new file called action. Let's create the add ticket action.js, and here let's do few things. First, import those action creators from the add slicer, ticket add slicer, and import all of them. And next is let's create an action. So let's const add I'm mixing up between add ticket and open ticket. Maybe let's say open new ticket. Let's say open new ticket, and it will receive the form data as an object, and we will receive dispatch as well. Again, this is the high order function, guys. We have already talked about that. If you are still not sure, you may need to go back to the other video and watch that. Okay, here we're going to return promise first. It has either reject or resolve. Run the arrow function and do everything in try catch here. And in case of error, I'm going to do console.log to see what's in the error. And here, first thing, we're going to dispatch the open ticket fail state that will take the error message. And before running the actual action calling to API, we always dispatch the is loading state. So that's open new ticket pending, because we just initiate our action. Here we need to call API now. So I think in our ticket API, let's go to ticket API. Do we have a API ready for that? Update ticket close, update ticket reply. No, let's copy this one and create new function called open new ticket. I think it's gonna collide the function name. I don't need this one. No need. Okay, it's just I don't need this one. Let me close that. I'm using open new ticket so that I make sure that I don't use the same name for the function, both the function. That means I think I have to use create here again. Create new ticket. Okay, that's the function name. I'm gonna receive the form data, and again it's a normal stuff. And here we have a post method, I remember, so we need to do post, and we need the URL that sends the post. So the URL for the URL endpoint for creating new post is just the ticket with post method. Let's create that one. So we just need v1/ticket, v1/ticket. Okay, I could use this one to use that root. Yeah, maybe just rename this. Just to Control D to select every instance of this variable, and instead of doing get single ticket URL, just say ticket URL. Yeah, now I can use this one as well. Now everything should not be broken here. Okay, now here I can say ticket URL, and here I need to pass the form data. Since this form data is an object, we're gonna send as an object. We don't need that to put in the brackets, so that's fine. And then header option, of course we need to send our just node token to be able to create the data as an authorized user. Everything else is same. Let's copy this one, save the file, and import this one in our add ticket slicer. No, add ticket slicer, add ticket action, and we need to import that here. Go to API, go to ticket API, and that's where our function is. And now just call this function after this dispatching the open new ticket pending. Here I'm gonna say const equals to await this function and pass the form data. This is the data we're passing here, and we need to of course pass the async here. And if result dot underscore, I don't know what's gonna come out. Let's console log first what's the return coming from server, and based on that we can definitely dispatch our open ticket success event. Let's save that open ticket. Let's export this one first, and we need to import this action in our component. So this is inside the component add ticket form and inside there. So save this file, go to add ticket form.component, where we are outputting this thingy here. Here we need let's see if we have imported dispatch. No, we have not. So let's import the dispatch from our React Redux, and let's define that as a const dispatch equals to use dispatch, and use that dispatch to dispatch that action, and make sure to pass this form data now, this form data. And we don't need this and make sure we are importing this function as well. Let's import that. It's inside the same folder, and a ticket action, and that will be open ticket. Yeah, let's submit. Let's put this function on the top here together, and let's put next to it. We don't need the space here. All right, okay, save that. And now we try to create new ticket and see what happens. Okay, we forgot to update this again. Let me update this one first. I don't like it. Okay, this one is updated, but now we need to check why subject is this one. This is error coming from our server. Let's go to our server backend API and check that out. Okay, this is what we're receiving: function, form data, native code. So definitely something wrong with our API call. Let me quickly check here. Okay, result XU ticket URL is the ticket URL here, and this form data is coming from there. In our ticket API.js, we are using form data, FRM data, so maybe just use the same parameter to be consistent. Let's go to our ticket action. Okay, let's send as a form data here. We're just calling the API to send the data, and we're console logging here for now. Let's see what comes out from server. Okay, status error, sender is required. Let's see in our API server how we're receiving. Okay, yeah, this is the data we're receiving in our API server. So, but aren't we sending sender? No, we are not sending sender, so we need to send sender as well. So let's grab the sender name and add in our object. We have done that before, right? Go to the add ticket form where we are calling dispatch here. So here let's call the sender name from state. Get the use, bring the use selector from React Redux. Put this up there, and let's use that use selector just after the use dispatch. Const use selector state return state dot user. That will return us this user, and we need user and name. So to get that name, we need to destructure user, one more nested object with name property. Now we can pass that name with this form. So what I can do, simply use the spread operator to spread all the property first and provide the name. When I save that, this has to be in sender actually, because this is how we're receiving in server. Now let's try to send new form and see what happens. Okay, open new ticket success, but we didn't get anything. Let's see in console. Okay, status still is error, message is required. Check in our server. Issue the details. We're sending as a details, but has to be. Let's quickly check what we need. In our validation here, we need the subject, sender, message, and the date as well. I think we have to put date as well. Have we defined the date? Now let's quickly define date here as well. dt equals to joy.date. That's it, because we have a date coming as well as a issue date. Issue detected date goes here probably. Order really doesn't matter. dt dot required as well. Now subject, sender, message, and issue date, but we are sending different ways, so we need to change subject to details. Go back, and in our ticket form we have a subject in details. Let's change this detail to message everywhere we are using here. So just do Control D to all the way to the bottom and do message. That shouldn't have any error with that. Okay, we have a status success and message new ticket has been created. Let me see if we have in our state now. Open new ticket is loading false. Okay, now we have to update that message because we are not calling the dispatching the success properly in our action, a ticket action here. So when we have a open ticket success in our console, we saw that status success. So I think if we have error, we'll have error. So check that way then. So if result.status equals to, let's do error, then we dispatch the open new ticket fail with the message. This is how it's coming here. The message, we have success message. When you have an error message will come. So if that's not the case, then we don't need console log anymore. We just need to send this result.message here and save that. Now this one should update our state at least pending success. When we go to our open ticket, now we have success message. Let's pull this out and then do the spinning error and loading here. So go back here again. So we need to import few things first. We need to import use selector from, not here, component. Let's see, we need selector, we need spinner component, we need alert component here, and yeah, that should do. Here what we can do with the use selector, we are using the user, but we also need other thing from the open ticket object. Open ticket, from open ticket, what we need is loading, error, and what's the success message, I guess. Yeah, so we're getting these three property out of this object. And now when we have a is loading, we can put the spinner just above the form here, below the add new ticket. Maybe I'll do one quick div here. Yeah, we do three stuff. If error, let's do error first, and then we do alert variant danger. This is the bootstrap class, okay guys, and the message, just pass the message here. Okay, let's do same thing with the success as well. When we have a success message in our state, if we have a success message, print that, and otherwise we'll print the spinner. If is loading is true here, then we do spinner. Spinner takes two props, so spinner is self-closing and don't need any of this stuff. Close the sidebar. Yep. So the variant is I'm gonna say primary, that's the blue default color, and it takes animation. I want this the border. Save that, and now let's try a few things. Okay, if we try to create new ticket, we'll have a quick flash of spinner loading. As you can see that we have that, and new ticket has been created, but with the background should be other way around. When we have error danger, when you have a success message, should be primary. So let's do one more time. There you go. And if we go to our ticket, we should see all of our new ticket. There you go. These are the new tickets just created today. Okay, add new ticket functionality is done as well. Okay, just remove this stuff from console and we can commit this change as well. Okay, the commit is done as well. So the only one thing we need is the dashboard. Dashboard has the ticket as well, loading, but not done yet properly. See, when we come in the beginning, the dashboard is missing the ticket detail. So let's fetch that ticket when use effect event of this component. Let's go to the dashboard. I don't need any of this one, so just go to dashboard page. Here we should have breadcrumb pending. Okay, okay, ticket table. Let me see what is ticket table expecting is loading. Okay, source ticket list. What we can do then, we can call the source ticket wherever we are using in tickets state, in our ticket state, maybe just call to get this ticket, fetch the ticket, all the tickets, and then from there we will do the work. Okay, so let's go to the tickets action. Should have something called fetch all ticket. Yeah, let's call this action in our dashboard page, just under the dashboard declaration. So what I'm gonna do, let's import use selector first. I want to do something. Import, and we also need use dispatch. So I want to first and import that action as well, this fetch all ticket. From this one is inside the page ticket list ticket action. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's import use effect as well, and let's close the sidebar. And just under the form, I want to grab the ticket state and see if there are any ticket or not first. Get const tickets from use selector state dot tickets, and now let's use effect. Here I want to check, let me copy, we need that. So if not ticket dot length, so we are basically checking if there is any ticket or not. If we don't have a ticket, then we can call the dispatch this test ticket. So simply do dispatch. Okay, we need to define the dispatch before we use. Let's go define here. So const dispatch use dispatch function, and here use dispatch and just call that function. And let's also pass the dispatch as a dependency. All usually stuff fetch all ticket is used there. Cannot resolve make sure the path is correct. Okay, let's see. Okay, there was any space before, that was the problem. Okay, now there you go. In database it just fetch the tickets. See, now even if we go home page, if you just try to visit, now we have automatically fetching that. And now what we want to do is we want to see how many ticket we have, how many ticket pending we have here. So let's do the calculation here. In here we can simply say const pending tickets equals to, we can use the map to see that. So if the status is not closed, then they are all pending. So what we can do, use filter. So in our tickets dot filter, it returns the row, and what we are checking is if row dot status. So if row dot status equals to closed, or that means the ticket is closed, that's not pending ticket. So that means if not equals to closed, that means that ticket is, those are the pending tickets. And I can simply do const total equals to, simply get the tickets dot length variables here. Total ticket will have a total ticket, and the pending ticket will have the pending ticket. Let's set that, and let's see. There you go. Total ticket 8, pending ticket 5. There you go. This portion is updated as well. Alright guys, I think we are all done integrating the API, but I can see there is a lot of things to be, can be improved here. So that is more like a CSS and styling stuff. So I'll let you guys do that thing, and if you find something interesting that you want to do it, and if you have done it, or if you want to do and then want to show me, you can definitely let me know in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to check it for you. Or if you want to make it and expand something more from here, I'll be more than happy to have a look for you as well. But write me down in the comment section and provide the link to your repo. Okay guys, and yeah, good luck with the whole project. I'm just gonna make a quick commit. Okay, I'm going to push this code to repo. So let me do that one right over here. There you go. Now the code should be available in the Git repo in there you go, right away. Thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope you have been following along with me and able to finish whole project. I'll be more than happy to hear from you. If you have, then please write in the comment section. I'll reply you as soon as possible. And if you ever get any stuck or if you have any issue, please write in the comment section or join me in the Discord channel. There you can ask me question or other fellow developers. And yeah, we finally finished this project. Took quite a while though. And in the next tutorial, we are going to Dockerize this application and then see how you can use Docker to use a multi-part of the application to run with a single line of command to make everything work. So yes, if you like the tutorial and if you haven't already, please subscribe the channel and turn on all the notifications. So code every day guys, and always feel free to ask questions if you get stuck, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now. Thank you.